Hi guys, so today I'm going to be talking about something that is very, very important to me, and this is something that I'm hoping that can help all of you. So this is what I'm calling 10 things to know before you color your own hair. Now, if this is your first time visiting my channel, I am a licensed cosmetologist in the state of Colorado, so I am a working hairstylist. So these are things that I know it's going to happen. I know that all of you are not going to have the means, the time, the money to go to a salon to keep up with a hair color. So I really want to support you guys in doing your creative abilities on your own hair, but I also want you to be doing it safely and with these 10 things in mind if you do want to color your own hair. I'm going to try not to ramble a lot in this video, even though I'm sure it's going to happen. So let's just get right into it. So first and foremost, this is the most important part of this video. If you change this video at any point in time, at least listen to number 1. The first rule to coloring your own hair is do not use box hair color or henna hair color. Now, I know that a lot of you are going to be like, oh, I use box color or I use henna color and I love it and it works great. That is fantastic for you, and if you are consistent on using henna color or box hair color and you never in your life expect to go into a salon or use professional color and it has worked out for you, then that's fantastic and I'm very happy. Now, most cases don't work out that way. The reason why I say not to use box color or henna hair color is for one important reason. Most hair colors that are in the boxes that you're going to find at Walgreens, even at Ulta, or anywhere, any type of drugstore, you see, you know, L'Oreal or Feria or John Frieda, all of those hair colors in the drugstore. Now, not 100% of them, but probably about 90% of these companies and these box hair colors contain metallic salts. Now, I'm sure that if you have colored your hair with box hair color or you've researched it, you've heard a little bit about metallic salts. Now I'm just going to briefly kind of go over what metallic salts are. They have actually been being used in hair color since the 1800s. What it is a progressive dye. So it does go into the hair color. It is a very poor quality of color, which is why the box hair color is so affordable. So they progressively make your hair darker. Now, if you research any type of study on metallic salts or any type of what they are. Basically, metallic salts are a form of different metals. Just to name a few: lead, silver, and copper. So obviously you're thinking, why in the world would I ever want to put metal in my hair? Well, a lot of people just don't know that it's in there. The main effect is that it's going to be poor quality and unpredictable. The overall effect is that it's going to, not all the time, but in most cases, leave your hair feeling brittle and almost straw-like. Now, the huge problem as a hairdresser with somebody who comes in who has been coloring their hair with henna or metallic salts, the metallic salts interfere really, really, really badly or very unpredictably with professional hair color, with hair color remover, or with hair lightener. Now, there are a lot of cases where if you have been coloring your hair with box hair color, sometimes it will come out easily, sometimes it will lighten just fine, and you'll be good to go. Now, that is the lucky of cases. If you do look on YouTube or do your research and look at the effects of metallic salts interfering with professional hair color, a lot of the time it causes fumes or burning or melted hair. Obviously, that is the worst case scenario. That's if you have been using box color one after another. Basically, when it is a progressive dye and you are layering it upon layer and you're putting layer upon layer upon layer, all of those progressive dyes are sitting on top of each other. So the more that you have colored your hair with box color, the more that professional color or that color remover is going to have to work to get rid of all those layers of progressive dye that are sitting on top of your hair cuticle. Now, I know that you are saying, well, if I can't buy hair color from a box hair color or from henna, then how can I buy hair color without having to go to the salon? My biggest recommendation, if you absolutely cannot afford to go into a salon, I have two options for you. First one, if you absolutely know that you can do this yourself, if you are absolutely confident and you've done this before and you know everything that you should know, then go into Sally's and you can ask the Sally's employees for recommendations, but basically it's going to be more professional color. There's not going to be metallic salts in the hair color that is sold at Sally's. They sell Wella, they sell different types of professional hair color. It is not going to be the exact same color like if you go into a hair salon and they use Wella color. It's not the same ingredients, it's not the same chemical process. It is still a more poor quality of hair color. That being said, it is 10 times better than using a box hair color because those hair colors do not contain metallic salt, which is going to be the most important. My second option for you is if you do have a cosmetology school near you, I personally recommend either a Paul Mitchell or an Aveda institute or school because those are more of the advanced education as far as hairstyling goes. You can always request an advanced stylist. So when you go into those schools, a lot of the time you will get put with the first stylist available. Now, if you request that you see an advanced student, it might be a couple dollars more, but it is definitely worth it. It's not going to be the same price as a salon. It's definitely going to be cheaper than at a salon. It is going to be a little bit more pricey than just buying hair color yourself, but you will be putting yourself in somebody else's hands who is about to get their license. Basically, an advanced stylist or an advanced student at a school is most likely in their last month of schooling where they're about to go get their license, and which case in the next month they will probably be working at a salon. Now, that number one being out of the way, that is definitely the most important rule to coloring your hair yourself. Number two, if possible, use demi-permanent, especially if this is your first time coloring your hair yourself. Basically, hair color has a couple different lines of permanent. There's semi-permanent, which will wash out the first wash. Demi-permanent gradually fades after each wash, and then permanent grows out of the hair. Obviously, there are permanent hair colors, salon or not in the salon, that are going to fade out gradually just depending on the quality of your hair and the porosity of your hair. Now, demi-permanent, I recommend to start off first because it isn't going to grow out of your hair. It's not going to be as harsh of a grow out line if it is not your natural hair color. And most importantly, is going to be less damaging. Most cases, depending on the color line, less ammonia content, so it is going to be a little bit less damaging to your hair. Number three, if you are going to color your hair yourself, definitely always make sure that you are going within 2 shades of your natural color. Now, this can be whether you're going lighter or darker, more than 2 levels darker than your natural color, especially if you are a blonde wanting to go brunette. When you are skipping that many levels of hair color in just one step, basically your hair has a natural remaining pigment. If you are going from super light blonde to super dark brown, basically the hair color does not add in that natural remaining pigment unless you are going into a salon. Number 4 is if you are going darker, make sure that you pick 1 shade lighter than you are wanting to go. Especially if this is your first time, you definitely want to make sure that your hair is not porous. It could definitely completely soak up that hair color and go a lot darker than you're expecting. So always go at least 1 level lighter than the desired shade. And number 5, this is also my most important thing to let you guys know because I did not know this before I was a hairstylist, and I don't think that a lot of people do know this. So if you do go into Sally's and you're thinking that you want to go lighter with your hair, so you look at the developers, which are essentially 10 to 40 volume. If you look at the bottles, it will show you how much lift each developer has. Obviously, 40 volume shows maximum lift. Now, thinking that you're not a stylist and you want the maximum amount of lift in your hair, you automatically are going to gravitate towards that 40 volume. Never, ever, 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 if you are coloring your own hair or if a stylist is coloring your hair at a salon, do not ever put 30 or 40 volume on your hair. If you look up YouTube videos of 30 and 40 volume bleaching, you will see that the hair almost melts off. When the hair is wet, it will completely snap off because you have ruined the elasticity in your hair. If you take a piece of your hair and you pull it and it bounces back, that means that you have the elasticity in your hair, which hair is supposed to have naturally. If you bleach it or you overprocess it too quickly, it will lose that elasticity in your hair, and when it is wet, instead of bouncing back, it will fall off. I can say this out of experience. I can say this out of my client's experience. It is the worst possible thing to go through, to have to find your hair in clumps all over your house because your hair is falling out because of how damaged it is. So I am saying from personal experience, as my professional experience, please do not ever use 30 or 40 volume. If you want to lighten your hair, especially if you want to be platinum blonde, please go into a salon. Do not put that in your hands because you will damage your hair. Number 6 is choosing the right shade for your skin tone. If you have very fair skin and more pink undertones like me, you can even see, like, I just get pink naturally. You can see, if you look at your veins, you can see some of that underlying tone of your natural skin tone. If you do have pinks, you want to stay away from any warm colors. I, even right now, feel like my hair is extremely, like, warm and golden, and I just don't think that it looks right with my skin tone. A lot of the time, pinks and fair skins look really nice with more ashy or cool tones. Because when you tend to go for the warmer tones with your pink undertone, it just tends to wash you out a little bit. Now, if you have an olive skin tone, then you want to gravitate more towards the warm colors because olive tends to have some green undertone, and when you put that warmth in there, it tends to cancel it out and neutralize and complement the color of your skin tone. If you are lucky enough to have a neutral skin tone, then you can use both colors. You can do warm colors or cool colors. Obviously, you will know what looks best on you. A stylist can recommend what's going to complement the color of your eyes, the color of your skin. But if you do have a neutral undertone, you don't have any pinks or olives, then you can gravitate towards warm or cool colors. Number 7, when you do color your hair yourself, especially if this is your first time, make sure you do a patch test. When you get the color from Sally's, definitely make sure that you go home and take just one tiny bit of your hair, especially on the ends, because they are going to be more porous and they are going to pick up that color the most. You want to just take a small piece of hair, put that hair color on the end of it, wait that full amount of processing time, and then dry it off with a towel and see how it looks. When you perform a patch test, you're able to see if that hair color is going to be too ashy, too muddy, and you are able to do that without having to put it all over your head and make a mistake for a corrective color. Which brings me to number 8. Be patient and realistic about your hair color. If you are not patient and you do want to go from platinum blonde to dark brown and it does get muddy, or if you want to be dark brown to platinum blonde in one day and it ends up getting orange and damaged, corrective colors at a salon are very expensive. They, most of the time, in 99% of salons, range from $200 and go up from there. They can go anywhere from $200 to the unimaginable. You cannot believe how much money we can charge as stylists for a corrective color. If you are patient and realistic about your hair color, it will be much easier to just gradually get yourself where you want to go by yourself than to just want to skip the step, go really fast, and get there in one day, because it is not going to happen, and it's going to end up being a corrective color in the salon, and you are going to pay probably triple the amount that you ever thought that you had to pay for your hair. Number 9, if you are doing your hair color consistently yourself, you do not need to pull the hair color from root to ends every single time. Especially if you have used those box hair colors, those progressive dyes just sit on the ends of your hair and they will build up and build up and build up until it's just layers of color gradually getting darker on your hair. If you have that same hair color and you just want to do your roots, but you feel like your ends have faded out a little bit. That is okay. What you can do is do all of the root color yourself, and then towards the last couple of minutes when you start to wash out your hair, when you get into the shower, just run it through the ends, just refresh the ends, do what we as stylists call like a color wash or a refresh of the ends, because that way the color is still going through the ends. Your ends are more porous, they're going to pick up the color really quickly, so you do not need to let the color sit on for the full amount of time as you do with the non-colored hair. And finally, the last piece of advice for you guys I have is to think on it. If you have never colored your hair before and you found a beautiful blonde on Pinterest and you think, oh my god, I want that, I'm going to do that right now. Don't do it. Especially even in cutting. If you see this really amazing cute cut that you want and you want to get it right then and there, think about it. I always recommend to very minimum amount of time, think about the hair color or the haircut for 2 weeks. Look at different types of hair colors. Look at different tones. There's plenty of cool tones and warm tones. Really, really know what you want. Whether you're doing your hair yourself or whether you're going into a salon, it helps to really understand fully what you want, and you can only really do that by allowing yourself time and patience to be able to really think that that's what you want to do. I know so many times where we have gone on an impulse decision and really wanted to buy something, really wanted to do something with our hair. We do it right then, and then the next day we immediately regret it. So all I'm saying is, just to save you time and regret, just make sure that that is really what you want to do with your hair. It will save you a lot of time and a lot of struggle and a lot of pain and a lot of heartache if you make sure that that's what you want before you completely commit to it. I know that sometimes I ramble a little bit about these things, but like I said, as a hairdresser, I obviously want all of you to be able to have beautiful, healthy hair and would love to see everybody come into the salon, but that is just not realistic, and I would rather have everybody have nice, healthy, beautiful hair, whether or not they're going to a salon. I just want people to know the safe way to do it, because it is not the end of the world if you color your hair yourself. I know a lot of times you trust yourself more than you trust somebody else with your hair. I completely get it, and I've been there and I've done that, and I've gone through a lot of struggle with my hair. So I just want to give all of my life lessons to you, and hopefully you can take away some of this and be able to color your hair safely and nicely. On that note, I really hope that you guys enjoy this video. Please, please comment down below, tweet me, find me on Instagram, and let me know if you have any questions. I can always try to help any of you who are going through a hard time with your hair. If you've done something, if you've made a mistake, if you need help, or even if you just want advice, if this is your first or 40th time coloring your hair yourself, please comment down below. I will always get back to you. I love helping you guys, and I love being able to give you my advice. If you did like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I try my best to put out videos every week. And other than that, I don't have anything else to tell you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.